Hi, it's Jane here from craftwithjane.co.uk, and today I'm bringing you this really cute little box which has sort of got tapered ends to it, and this opens up, both ends open up, and it just opens up like that. And inside I've got this really cute coconut macaroon treat, so it's going to be my coconut macaroon treat box. And you just literally pop that in and just press it down, and it pulls itself back in beautifully. So that's there. The macaroons came in this lovely plastic box, and I thought, oh, I've had some of these before, a different treat in this box, and these boxes are really handy for storage in the kitchen or craft room. And I'm using the Brights DSP for this, and the Brights cardstock, and I'm keeping it quite monochrome in the sense that my main colour is the colour of the on this one my main colour is Bermuda Bay, but I'm going to be doing Pacific Point for the next example, and then just black on the stamping. I could have used the same colour for the stamping as well, but I tried it, but I quite like the way the bright sort of the black pops out sentiment wise. So yeah, so this is today's project. So this is my cardstock, and it measures 9 1/4 by 7 inches. For metric measurements, please go into the description and link to my blog, and you'll see all of the metric measurements in centimetres as well as inches, with a brief description of the directions. So on the long side, I need to score this at 3, 4 1/4, 7 1/4, 8 1/2. 8 1/2. On the short side, I need to score it at 3/4, 2, 5, 6 1/4. Okay. There's a tiny little bit more scoring that we do need to do, which is to do with the folding. So we need to score these lines just here, which will be these centre boxes just here. So I'll do that in a short while. So I'm going to do some cutting before I do any burnishing, and I just need to leave this layer here and this layer here, and these will form the lids, the flaps just here, to be able to close the box. Going there. I'm going to go straight, but I'm going to make sure to cut off the bit that I've actually scored so that it takes some of the bulk out, and I'll round the corners then once I've burnished. I haven't used the Brights DSP for ages, but I do love it. I just think it's so vibrant. I love all of the colours, the DSP that you can get in the colours. It comes in a 6x6, and it has patterns on them, and it's just lovely. And I always think it looks quite expensive, if that's the right word, when you do packaging in the actual colour family. When you keep it in the same colour family, it seems to give it sort of quite a classic, more sort of expensive look about it. So there we go. So I've cut that down. I'm now going to burnish. To start with, I'll just burnish this, and I'm going to round the corners at either end here. So I'm going to use my fantastic corner trio punch that I use frequently, and one of the best purchases I've made. I'm sure everyone's got a corner trio punch, but I quite like the fact that you can do a centre. If you're doing a tag, you can use this for your tag hole, and you can use the corner around here and do a decorative corner as well, which is nice. Right, now I'm going to burnish along here, and I will repeat that process. Lovely. So this is my template. I'm now going to use my grid paper, and I'm going to put that on 0, and I'm going to put that just there, and you'll see it is. So I'll just lower it a little bit. So I'm following this darker line, which is on the 0, and I'm matching my score line up with it. And you'll see it takes me to 1 1/4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So I'm going to make a little point here at the 2.5 box mark and do exactly the same here at the 2.5 mark. And I'm going to get a ruler and I'm going to score from here to the inside line, the inside corner just here. So from there to there. So I'm going to score that. There you go. You see that score line just there? And I'm going to repeat that on all of the sides. So I'll be making this triangle mark, which will eventually form part of the box on both sides. And I'll do exactly the same here. So I'm going to start with it there, there. Perfect. And then just move that over a touch. And there we go. And I'll repeat that on this side. Okay. Lovely. So I'm going to need to do the same there. So I'm going to line it up on my grid paper to make sure that the score line looks like it follows. And then I'll do 1, 2.5. And then 1, 2.5 just here. Lovely. I'm going to use my ruler and do exactly the same. So from this point to this point. Lovely. Repeat that just here. So this is a metal ruler. I do think it's a great addition to a craft room. And I'll do exactly the same just here. So that point to, I think that's where I've marked it. Okay. Okay. Lovely. And then finally here to there. So there to there. Lovely. So I've made my score lines just there. Now I'm going to get out my bone folder and I will score all of the lines. Okay. So I'm just going to trim these bits here so that they can ever so slightly just miter off a tiny bit, just like that, because it's what's going to glue onto my box, and I just want the edges to look quite neat. So I'll pop some glue here, and I'm going to use some of my tear and tape. And I'll do that along here and take that off. I think I'll do two layers of that. There you go. Just to make sure it's nice and secure. And then use my pick tool to take off the backing. There you go. And oops, sorry. Lovely. Right, so now I'm going to make the basic box shape like that. Lovely. And I'll just double check, and that creates that beautiful neat fold. I'll just make sure it all fits in one of these. There we go. So that's it. Lovely. Look at that. Oops, sorry. Look at that slippery little fella. Lovely. So I'll undo this now gently, because there's a few things we need to do. So for a start, I need to put the DSP on, and I also need to do a tiny little punch here for a notch hole. So I'll do that now. So I'm just going to use this. I'm going to eyeball it about halfway along, about here, and I'll just do that. And I'll do the same on this side, about halfway along, approximately. Brilliant. Okay, so let's start getting some beautiful DSP on. So the DSP pattern I picked from the Bright's 6x6 pack is this one here, which is the cross pattern. And I'm going to glue my first piece onto here. So I've cut this matte layer at, actually, I've got measurements for it. So this matte layer I cut at 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. So I'm going to glue that one on the front, and I'm going to do that with my Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. Just pop a bit here. So this will make a nice little favour for a party, little gift to be left for somebody, which is what I'm using it for here. Actually going to use it for a work colleague, I think. So pop that there, put a little treat in it, something special that they like, which is always nice. And I'm going to put one on the side just here. These side panels measure 2 7/8 by 1 1/8. So pop that there. These side panels, and pop one just here. Great. Put one on this side, one on the top, one on the top there. And then you could leave it at that. However, I'm just going to pop another piece of DSP on the back as well. That one's there. Nice. Pop one at the top, one at the bottom as well. There we go. Lovely. And then, so there's 4 of these in total. Just one here. So how's everybody doing weather-wise? I know in the UK, which is where I'm based in South Wales. So we are a beautiful country of Wales, which is part of the United Kingdom, and it is beautiful green grass. It's the land of people like Tom Jones and Sir Anthony Hopkins, and Martin Sheen, of course, Shirley Bassey, and lots of other fantastic people. It is slightly wet and windy. So I've used the layer and circle dies. I've cut out a scalloped shape and in white, and a piece of the Pacific Point cardstock here. So size wise, I've used the 3rd one down for the borders, and then I think I've used the 4th one down for the sentiment. Yep, I have. So I'm going to glue all of these together. So I'll start off by putting the cardstock layer on top of the matte, the first matte layer. And I just, when I did it without this, it just sort of sunk. It didn't sort of stand out. But when you do it with this back layer of white, it really popped. So, and then my lovely sentiment layer. So this sentiment is from a Celebration stamp set. So this video I think is going out on the 25th of February. You literally have 3 days left to order any Celebration products. So basically, Celebration is a Stampin' Up promotion, and if you spend £45 or more, in multiples of £45, you can get free additional products. Not necessarily always this stamp set, but there's lots of other products as well. I actually spent £90 to get this stamp set because it's such a big stamp set with loads of sayings on it. And it says here, "Thanks for brightening up my day." And I just thought, what a great sentiment. If you are interested in purchasing any products and you don't have a demonstrator within the UK, please consider shopping with me. I'm always very grateful. I send out thank you cards, and if you use my host code, I'll send you out a gift as well the following month. So yeah, please do consider that. I'd be over the moon if you decided to shop with me. So I'll just put 4 Stampin' Dimensionals on the back here, and that can pop it up beautifully, I think. So I'll wait until I've sealed up my box. I'm just going to pop this just in here. So once you've put it in a few times, so once you've folded it and close the box up, actually, shall I put my macaroon in this one ready? So there's my coconut macaroon. You'll see it just slips in beautifully, and then you can see it in there. I'll fold it up, so I'm going to poke it in, and then I just gently shut it like that. Lovely. Okay, so I'll take off my Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. Right. I think I've got a bit of glue on my finger and just there, and it's sort of sticking everything to it. Lovely. Okay, and I'll pop this. Oh, I'm going to eyeball it to get it as centered as I can. Yeah, happy with that. That looks about straight, doesn't it? Oh, I like it. I'm not sure which colour I like best, actually. So you could tell me that actually in the comments. I'd love to know. So I'm going to put a few jewels on it. I've put some of these hexagon shapes on here. So I'm going to pop some decoration on here just because I have decorated this one up. And to decorate this one up, I use the adhesive backed hexagons in this beautiful colour here. But for this one, I was either going to use the blue adhesive gems or these iridescent rhinestones. Which ones do I think go better? I really do like these iridescent rhinestones. I think I'm going to have a go with those. So I'm going to, what size? I'm going to use maybe one of each. So I'll try and put a big one on. So I'll pop a big one just here and I'll put a small one next to it. So it's a bit like that. Oh, I like that. And then I'll use a medium one towards here. Oh yeah, I really like that. It's got a lovely iridescent sheen to it. There we go. So these are my cute little coconut macaroon treat boxes. I just love the look of them and the way they sort of have tapered at either end. I just think they look fabulous. So I hope you like them as well, and I hope you're able to follow the instructions clearly. They're not that difficult to make. It's just a little bit of planning and making sure you score in the right places. But once you've scored and cut, it's very easy to assemble them. So if you would like any of the products that I've shown today and you don't already have a demonstrator, please look at the links below in the description. You can link straight to my shop, and I've put some of the products I've used as a quick link code as well, so you can just tap on them and it'll take you through to that product within my shop as well. So yeah, I think that's probably everything. So I think it's the end of February as well now, so next time I see you will be the beginning of March and we'll be really heading into spring. So I'm going to say bye for now and happy crafting.